What's up guys, Hades here. So I recently made a new account and it's on server 300. Can you believe it? We're on server 300 already. I want to talk about some of the differences in the game that's modern for the new accounts versus what it used to be like back when I played. And I'm also going to put in a few little things here and there in this video that are going to try and help you not fall into pitfalls that I fell into, wasting time, wasting money, grabbing the wrong things, focusing the wrong things. So let's jump into it. Okay, the first thing I want to look at is some of the new things they have in the shop. Now, there's this Head Start bundle to get the extra permanent queue, and if you purchase anything, you get Merlin. I do think this is essential to the early game. If you don't get the extra building, it's going to take you forever to keep pace. This is the same as it's always been. Unlock Ramses for 15. I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. You can get pearls here and convert 20 into Attila. Essentially, they're showing you how to make a water team. They've been baiting every player into making water the entirety of the 300 servers. Do not fall for the water trap. Water is a trap. I will tell you right now, and I'll say it again. Water's a trap. Don't build water. Everyone has water. Build earth. Now the cool thing is when I was looking through this, we look here and here, and there are some really nice things. Now, the first thing I notice here is YSS. Now, YSS is one of the best heroes in the game and has become extremely meta. I would highly recommend you pick up YSS and Charles. You can get Charles here and you can upgrade him in the market, and you can get YSS here and you can slowly upgrade him over time. Now, why these two heroes? Well, I recently made a list of the best teams, and would you have it right here sitting in the A tier, extremely strong. Now you can easily, I'm gonna bring this down here, you can easily swap out a few of these heroes. I think the front line with a backline carry is fantastic. In the early game, you might need Alex with Charles or Alex with YSS, and of course you might not have Theodora right away, but you can get Zenobia for very cheap very early on. I would highly recommend Earth Dragon, counters water. Then you would have Charles plus Alex or YSS plus Alex, whatever is easier to get. And then Himiko over time. You get access to a few strong immortals early. There's Elizabeth, there's Khan, and there's Himiko. And these are the kind of easy to obtain strong immortals at the beginning of the game. And this is probably one of the best, if not the best builds right now in the game. Now, this is what I think you should be aiming for. You have to find your way to navigate the game without them, because you won't be able to get all of them right away. I know Theo's Roulette is available. I know Charles is available. I know YSS is available. So again, that last slot can be a strong mage like Merlin, can be Elizabeth, Himiko, or Khan. And those are my big recommendations. I actually think Khan in the early game is super broken because Athena doesn't exist yet, right? So yeah, a lot of these are just not worth it at all. Don't get baited into this. None of these heroes are more meta. Now, the one thing I do see, if you want to be unique, there's an early Trajan available, and there's an early Siandiak available. Now, if you're really wanting to go for fire, this is an option. Keep in mind, this is kind of like a one-time thing. It might refresh once a month, but if you open Siandiak, I'm not sure how you're going to get more of her down the line. Now, the sad thing here is I saw the Lucky Spin, and these are non-upgraded, like these are early Conquest immortals, right? When you're in your first Conquest, these are pretty much the pool of immortals you're gonna have, and you're not gonna have a while until you can unlock those higher tier ones, which they're kind of baiting you into here. Margaret, not meta. YSS, very meta. Lewis, not meta. And Seondeok is a little bit fringe. But I would highly recommend you focus on Earth to get going. Now, a few other things. When you're looking at building your account here in the early game, you're looking at Conquest expansions. This is going to be Conquest Chapter 4, Chapter 5, Chapter 6. Focus on getting everything you can as highly efficient as you can. Have all your buildings upgrading all the time, right? Never having a down moment. Of course, I have a down moment here because I'm making a video, but if you can, play for as much as you can the first week or so. They give you tons and tons of goodies. There's a 7-day reward thing. There's just goodies on goodies on goodies. Collect them all. Take everything you can. Don't get baited into silly things. You don't need things like enchanted stones, but take all the free stuff. They give more free stuff than I've ever seen in the game. Teleports are free, don't buy teleports. Training is free, don't buy training. But yeah, next really cool thing that they added into the new accounts on the new servers is the harbor. The harbor is actually one of the best updates in the game that I can remember. It gives tons of free goodies. Always be maxing this. You get tons of healing, training. Healing and training pretty much run the game. In IB League, you need healing. In KVK, you need healing and training. There's nothing more you would want in this. When you start the game, of course, you don't have anything available to you. It's very hard to actually, optimize it and increase your percentages and stuff. But once you can, this becomes an extremely helpful tool to grow your account. So always be thinking about it. The final thing is, don't get baited into these kind of immortal gift packs. They're hey, here, look, buy this one, only $5. This is cheaper than it ever was. It used to be 15 or 20, but it's just not worth it. You're never going to use him after the first 100 days. He's just going to become useless. Like I said, you really want to have these immortals, and then I highly recommend having a budget ready for each of these skills. Once they're available, these skills break the game. Spring of Life, No Escape, Energy Shield, and the Demonic or Battle Stance, depending on what kind of hero you have. And then a handful of other pretty strong ones. Weakening Curse, Vitality Touch, Blade Vortex, these can all be very strong. But these core 4, if you have these and your opponent does not, you are a super mega turbo whale. These skills break the game. So make sure you're ready to get these skills when they come out. Make sure you're available to get these, or you can go for hybrid. These two teams are very similar in a lot of respects. You're gonna have Zenobia on both of them. You kind of have Alex on both of them. I highly recommend Alex in one of these slots. And then if you want to go with the Hannibal Kin build, you can. If you don't, that's fine. But Earth is just dominant. One of the best teams in the early game is Water, so you're gonna have Kin to do the debuff on the water healing. And if you're running this team, you can have Khan here to debuff healing. A lot of teams run Zenobia or the Water Dragon heals, so these become really powerful in the early game. But yeah, that about wraps it up for this video. As I grow this account, I'm gonna have more and more advice for kind of newer players to the game. I want to try and keep these things simple. I want to keep them focused as much as I can for the newer audience. But if you guys like these kind of videos, let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one.